Today is our last installment all about my 3-night cruise on the Disney Wish, and this is all about Castaway Cay Day. We're going to talk about what we did to spend our time on this beautiful private island owned by Disney Cruise Line, and some tips I have to maximize your day there, and also taking advantage of a quieter ship. So stay tuned for more. Any day at Castaway Cay is going to be a fantastic day, and that is because it is Disney's private island retreat that you will have on most of the Bahamian sailings when you are going from the Florida ports. So what I will say is this is a very popular spot to get off, to explore the island. This is going to be a very quiet ship day. So if you are someone who does not want to go to the private island, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you're choosing to stay on board, this is a great day to explore the ship. You're also going to find a lot of things maybe closed during the day. For example, the shops will be closed, and there may be fewer activities for you on board because they assume that most people are getting off at the private island. But if you are staying on board, enjoy the quiet, enjoy the pools. You will notice a very big difference on a Castaway Cay Day on your sailing. So what did we do? First, we decided not to fight the crowds over at Marceline Market in the morning, and so instead we opted to have room service for our stay. So we ordered the room service breakfast for myself, my husband, the kiddos, and we got ready in our room and just ate, enjoying the view from the balcony, and it was a great way to start. And that way we were able to be up and ready and heading down to the gangway at 8 a.m. Our onshore time was 8:30, and I've seen a lot of videos where people say that it can get crowded if you're trying to get onshore right at that 8:30 mark. So we ended up being down there a little early, which ended up being a great move. At about 8:05, they decided to open the gangway, and they didn't even announce to the entire ship that it was open. It was just the few people who happened to be down there early, eagerly awaiting their chance to get on the island, and we were some of those people. So we were the fourth people off of the ship and headed onto island time at Castaway Cay. We were able to take a nice walk and take tons of photos of the ship, of ourselves as a family. I can drop a few of those in here for you to see, but it was such a quiet, easy walk. You can walk to the beaches. You can also go on the little tram cart that they have as well. If you want to wait for that to fill up and take that around just to save the steps, you're welcome to, but it really isn't a long walk along some really easy paths to follow. Once we got to the beach, we had the beach to ourselves. It was a beautiful way to start the day. This was about 8:30 in the morning, and we were just really soaking in, getting some of the best seats with views of the water right in that front row, some of the chairs that you can drag down to the water ledge, the water line to be able to just dip your feet in the water. It was a beautiful start. The kids played in the sand, played in the water. We got some drinks a little bit later to kind of enjoy while we sat there and the kids played, and it was so relaxing. Castaway Cay has a lot to offer, so if you are looking for more activities, you can do things like a 5K around the island. You can have snorkel equipment that you rent. You can bring your own. There's also a ton of water activities, slides, different areas to explore. There's also an adults only section. So really Castaway Cay is one of those places that if you haven't been there before, I don't recommend that you add on a bunch of extra activities. Just explore all that there is to offer. And then maybe on the next visit when you go back, because you will likely go back, you can go into some targeted specific activities or excursions from there. But there's so much to do. There's some great shopping to do as well. And then what we did around 11:30 is when Cookie's Barbecue opens up, we went over and had our lunch. So keep in mind, one tip that I have for people is if you are going onshore early, maybe bring some snacks with you. There aren't a lot of things that are going to open up for food until 11:30. So keeping that in mind, you might want to bring some stuff with you if you feel like you're going to want a snack before then. Lunch was fantastic. It's that similar buffet style setup that you get when you're on board. And because it's the private island, everything that's included on the ship is included here for you as well. Your soda refills, water refill stations were really easy to find. And then you also have tons of great barbecue and food to eat. We really enjoyed our burgers. We really enjoyed some of the barbecue, and the kids love the mac and cheese. So it was a win across the whole family. We had been up so early. We've been on the beach so early. Around 1 o'clock, we decided to head back to the ship, and there were still tons of people coming off to enjoy the shore at that point. And so we were kind of the only, there were some other people getting back on board, but it was a quiet, easy process to get back through. You kind of put your things through metal detectors. You just show your pass as well to get back in and on the ship, and you're ready to go. At that point, my son, who was 5, was really tired, so he went and took a nap and a little rest in the cabin with my husband, and my daughter and I went up to the pool deck. It was fantastic. The pool deck can be a very popular place to hang out, whether it's a Nassau day or a day at sea, and we had the entire area almost to ourselves. There were a few other kids and families up there enjoying the pool and Funnel Vision TV. If you don't know, on a Disney cruise, on the big red funnel is a giant television screen. And they use it for sail away parties and events and different things, but they also are always playing Disney movies up there. So while my daughter was splashing and swimming in the pool right below the Funnel Vision TV, I was enjoying watching Encanto and watching Finding Dory and any other movies that were playing up there. And it was a really wonderful way to spend some time. When you are docked, not every pool will be open on board. So something to keep in mind as well. It can make the few pools that are open a little more crowded, but again, at 1:30 in the afternoon, there weren't a lot of people who were back yet from Castaway Cay, and so we really had a lot of space to ourselves. We enjoyed grabbing some quick snacks around at some of the quick food options there, and then we also just enjoyed soaking in the sun and the quiet. It was a really peaceful way to spend an afternoon. At that point, we kind of went back to the room, and we started to get ready for dinner. Now, this was our last night on board, and so for me, I wanted to make sure that I had my packing kind of in order, just to make it easier in the evening and not be something we had to stress about in the morning. And so I was just kind of spending some time repacking things and just leaving out the necessities that we had for the evening and the following morning, which really, just for me, or my mindset, helped make it a little bit of a smoother process. I went to dinner that last night, and we were at 1923, which I will say was our favorite meal across the entire cruise ship. So we had Arendelle, we had Worlds of Marvel, and I would say 1923 was everyone's favorite from a food quality standpoint. This does not have a big performance aspect. There was no television with Marvel characters. There were no live performers like in Arendelle. This was truly a beautiful space that is dedicated to Walt and Roy Disney. 1923 on the Disney Wish is split into two sections. There is the Walt side and the Roy side. We were on the Walt side, and it was wonderful. It is full of art and history, all from the years at Walt Disney Company, animation, sketches, different things, and it's just a beautiful place to walk around and explore. And we had fantastic food at 1923 on this last time. So after dinner, the kids wanted one last chance to go to the kids club, and so they went back to the kids club. We dropped them off, and then my husband and I, my parents, we went over to Nightingale's. Nightingale's is one of the many lounges that they have on the Disney Wish. Is obviously themed to Cinderella from the Nightingale song, and inside is this beautiful piano that is right below the chandelier that is mimicking the bubbles from when she's washing the floors in Cinderella. The cocktail list is all themed to different things from Cinderella, and there was a pianist who was playing classic Disney movies, scores and songs, and it was really nice just to sit there and relax on our last night together, have some drinks, and just enjoy the ambiance. We then picked up the kids and went to see Aladdin, which was the Broadway style show that was on the last night, and it was spectacular. It is about an hour-long show, and what I really enjoyed was were the characters who played the genie and the magic carpet. I'm not going to share more about it because it is such a special treat, but we really enjoyed Aladdin, and by the end of the night, we were really tired. We had a long day, a lot of sun, and we really had kind of the best night ever. So we called it a night. The next morning, we were up early. We went back to 1923 for a sit-down breakfast, which I highly recommend doing, getting a nice big breakfast in before you have your travel day. And we were off the ship around 8 a.m. It was a super easy process. It's very well organized. There's a few different ways that you can handle your debarkation day, but I would say starting it with a sit-down meal at the restaurant that you had the night before is never a bad option. So, have you been to Castaway Cay? What are some of your favorite things to do there? What should I check out next time we go as a family? And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more all things Disney, theme parks, and travel.